on?
Hey, hey, Brad. I'm okay. I got a bug or something,
Oh,
but I'm
not
okay.
not a bug,
I know. I'm
not
here
the
though. How you
bugaroo,
doing?
not,
How
not the
you doing?
bugaroo.
I know.
You be all right. We'll get you a good workout in or something, man. Sweat that thing out.
I know. I did this morning. I'm gonna go again in the morning. Took some medicine tonight. So, yep. Still glad to be here.
Nah, you got that. Come on, man. Take it to the next level on them. Yes,
I
yes.
think that's crazy. I've seen some of your posts on Facebook. You definitely took Brad's advice with the videos and whatnot,
Yes.
huh? It looks good. It looks real good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. We just waiting for Big Mark to get in here. I mean, Big Jose to get in here. Then we'll get started with wholesaling mobile homes today. Janice, what's going on, girl? We ain't seen you in a while. Good to see you.
Oh my God.
I'm ready to hear how everything been going and how I can help you get to the next step. Let's go.
I've been shopping. I've come across a few things, but the numbers to the parks, no good. So I have to do more legwork and more shopping.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Shoot, a lot of people ain't in a position to shop. So let's go.
So I'll be out again this weekend. Hopefully I have something good to report next week.
That's cool. We're gonna go over a little bit about your shopping, how you've been doing that. Here when we get to the Q&A. I want to see what's going on with you. I want to take care of you.
Okay.
Jose just popped in. What's going on, man?
Good evening. Good evening. How we doing?
Man, doing good, doing good. We got everybody in the building today.
Good deal. Okay. Let's see.
Got presentation ready for us?
Yeah, I was pulling up a couple things. I'm on a different device, so it's also a little dark in here, but we'll get it done for sure.
It's all good. We ready for that movie. We ready for that movie you done directed. Let's go. Mark, how you feeling over there? Yo, you got that outfit on, man. Yeah. Yeah.
It's hot. Arizona is coming. Summer is coming.
Man, y'all wouldn't even believe my AC was down for 3 days, boy. I was burnt.
It's illegal in Arizona.
I begged that man to come out here. I'm talking about he should have never gave me his cell phone number. But it ended up being a drain. That's what it was. Ended up being a drain. You said it. It ended up being a drain was clogged. He had to come snake it. And yeah, I was ready to roll after that. I'm talking about it's cool. It's cooler than the South Pole in here, man.
Easy, throwing snowballs.
Come on, man. I got it on super blast. Jose, what we look like, baby? What we look like?
Oh, I'm ready as soon as we are.
It's all good. It's 6 o'clock. You know how it is. If you're on time, what does they say? If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
Let me make me host or give me the ability to share.
All you. Let's go.
All right. Tell me when y'all can see my screen.
I see it. I see it.
All right. Number one, that is not Donald Trump. All right, let's move along. So wholesale.
that is definitely Donald Trump.
I showed this at a webinar, and they kept asking, "Is that Donald Trump?" That's a stick figures.
You just gotta change his color to orange.
Yeah, that's all he had to do.
We'll put a little orange for sure. All right, so wholesale. Wholesale, we're going to keep it simple. That's number one. Keep it simple. When it comes to wholesale, and I didn't begin doing wholesale, I should have had, but a lot of people will like to make things harder than they need to be. Stop. Make it simple. Okay. If it works, go through it. It's very simple process. A to B, B to C. We're going to break it all down for y'all. And I am going to show you a couple contracts that I use. You can get your own contracts, but I'm going to show you for certain reasons, and I'm going to break down certain stuff you're supposed to put in those agreements to cover yourself. You got to cover yourself, okay? But let's start with the process. So wholesale, some states, I know they say it's not legal anymore. You can't do it. I do not do business in states where wholesaling supposedly is frowned upon. But, regardless of that, I've always called wholesale is getting paid for my time. That's what I'm doing. Even though I'm marking these mobile homes higher, I'm making a profit, whatever it may be, you're getting paid for your time. So a lot of times when you're doing these kind of deals, this type of strategy is going to be more so how you word it. And Mark can go deep into that. He's gave me coaches on a lot of that, but it's all how you word what you are doing. So try to factor that in. Is yes, you're wholesaling, double wholesaling, whatever it may be, is you're getting paid for your time. All right. So we'll start with this example, A to B, top one. So letter A is the sellers. This could be a park owner, could be a park manager, could be a direct seller, could be an investor. It doesn't matter. It's somebody who owns the mobile home, right? They got the mobile home right here. Your initial key as a wholesaler is always going to be to get the deal at the best price possible. You're going to do your homework. You're going to get comps and see what mobile homes are selling as is, selling ARVs, and obviously round that up and see what number you come up with. In this example, wherever this might have been, obviously 5,000 is what we can offer. Okay, that's what we need to get them down, because we have to think about, we have to mark it up. And when you're thinking mark it up, you still has to be desirable. A lot of investors, wholesalers, they like to mark it up with what everything else is out there. I do not. Okay, we'll get to B and C here in a second. So what I'm going to do is I am B at all transactions. As a wholesaler, you're the middle guy. You're the middleman. You're the bridge, right? You're the bridge between the seller and the actual buyer. So what I'm going to do here as a B is I'm going to lock up this mobile home for $5,000. Everything is done in contracts and agreements. There's no handshakes. There's no word of voice, none of that. It has to be written down. Okay. We'll go over some of that as well in a minute. So I'm going to put this agreement A to B to me for under agreement for $5,000. That's what I am agreeing to pay. Okay. I'm also going to show you how to get these deals with no money out of pocket, even for those that require a deposit. Okay. So A to B is done. When you are filling out the agreement from the seller to yourself, remember this: whatever terms you agree to, your buyer has to agree. And that's another mistake I see wholesalers make, is you just start saying, yeah, that where everything works. Because in their mind, they're thinking, well, I don't really care. It's not for me. You have to treat this as though it is for you. Okay. If, for instance, the mobile home needs to be moved and you're sitting there agreeing to yes, all the above, and you find out later on that, hey, the sellers actually had you moving this mobile home within 3 days, Mark can tell you, okay, that's not possible. No, not mostly. So now you're going to go to your guys and say, you got to move it in 3 days. That's not feasible. So those are the kind of things you got to remember. What you're agreeing to is what somebody else is going to have to agree to. Okay. And yes, you can come back later and say, hey, we need to change this couple of things or whatever it may be, but you try not to get into that. All right. A to B, they agreed to sell the mobile home to me for $5,000. I am going to lock it up under agreement. Okay. Put it under contract. It's what they call in real estate. Then I am going to mark it up desirable. In this market, some homes may sell for 8,000, maybe 9,000. I am going to bump it up to 7,000. You see how desirable I make it, because I don't want to hold on to this mobile home. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is take a new agreement, B to C, find my buyers who are C. I'm still B, and I am now going to assign the agreement. Okay. I'm going to sign the contract to them, basically let them take over. Okay. That's wholesale. I prefer double wholesale. We'll go over here in a couple minutes. I am going to mark it up to 7,000, where the buyers now pay me an extra 2,000, and that's what equals my profit. Right? I paid $5,000 for it, or I put it on agreement for 5,000. I'll allow the buyers now to pay me in addition to 2,000, which got marked up. That covers the 5,000 to the sellers, and that covers the 2,000 to myself, which that is the profit. I don't like that. I don't like wholesaling. I prefer double wholesaling. When you get into this wholesaling, you have too many hands on the pie. You got too many eyes, and people are nosy. It's one thing about a lot of buyers, okay, and even sellers. They don't like to see other people make money, and they'll flat out tell you, I don't think you should be getting paid that much, or that's irrelevant to me, is the way I see it. But if this the seller finds out that you're going to make 2,000, basically playing broker, as they say, then that may not be so kin to. Not to mention, a lot of times, most times, the buyer is going to say, well, I like to look at the mobile home, or I like to see, or I like to this, or maybe they don't search all Q public records, etc., and they start getting an idea that, hey, there's somebody else that actually owns the mobile home. There's question marks, there's flags now. So that's to keep in mind. Now you have to, you know what, Mark, I'm going to let you tell you a little story here in a few minutes, if that's okay, about what you used to do to get rid of the seller. Let me go ahead and go to double wholesale first and why I like double wholesale. Double wholesale is basically where you actually pay for the mobile home, get rid of the seller, and then you deal directly with the new buyer. I prefer that. Just because, again, I don't want this guy or this couple here in my way. Potentially something goes wrong, buyer goes over there, they speak, they realize I'm the middleman, cut me out, okay? Best way for you to realize how you've been cut is when they start ghosting you. Texts aren't coming through anymore, calls aren't being answered, you got eliminated. It's happened before. In a double wholesale, what I am going to do is pay the seller the $5,000, get the title. I'm not going to transfer higher rent to my name because I'm still just putting it under contract and I'm going to give the rights to somebody else. This is how I do it in my way anyway. Some people will say that's skipping titles. I don't agree with that either. And then I'm going to come down to the buyers and say it is $7,000. Now, a lot of people say, well, I want to get started in this business, but I don't have money. And I don't want to do wholesale because I do see the risk to go with it. So what can I do to still do a wholesale and not invest, not come out any money out of pocket? What I would do, now I don't put deposits. I may do 100 maybe on a blue moon somewhere down the line where the seller says, well, you're putting it on a contract. I want some type of deposit, holding unrefundable. I'm not going to do that. I will put $100 if it's required. But I do, however, require the deposit from my buyers. This is the way they operate. Okay. So what I can do on something like this, and this will help you also get rid of those tire kickers. Who's really serious about buying the mobile home? Okay. So if I'm getting this for $5,000 and I have zero money to my name, but I already have a buyer, she should. Okay. In a perfect world, wholesaling works best when you have the buyer first and the product later, not the other way around. Okay. So I already have a line and lines of buyers that I know want a single wide 14 by 70, whatever it may be. All right. I'm going to go to them and say, hey, I got you a phenomenal deal for $7,000, but I am requiring a $5,000 deposit because I got many, many people. I want to make sure he or she who buys it is serious. So I'm going to request for them to give me a $5,000 non-refundable deposit, okay, which I'm going to use to later go back. And I'll tell them when I have you the title, which will be about in a week or 2 weeks, whatever. Now give yourself some grace time. And then I will hand you the title and you can hand me the other $2,000 that equals the $7,000. Hell of a deal I'm giving you this transaction, right? You take the $5K, no money out of pocket you had, take it to them, close it, take the title, come back over here, hand them the title, transaction made. Double wholesale. Double wholesale simply means you are getting rid of the initial seller. They're gone out of the picture. Okay. Y'all ask me any questions, I can stop at any second. Okay. Because I do want to show you the contracts. And you know, you can do this, you can do this at the tag office, DMV. You know, I always do suggest that you have somebody, maybe we're seeing a transaction, but again, when you have so many people in the picture, just keep that in mind. You want to do the best to keep the buyer and the seller out, and you are obviously being in the picture, not being cut out. That's not to mean you're going to lie. Yes, I get paid for my time. How much profit are you making? I'm making a good profit on this transaction, but I want to make sure that you as the buyer are taken care of. That's all they need to know. Dollars and pennies is irrelevant. Okay. Somebody asked that the other day, by the way, something about how do you keep them from finding out how much it is or something. I'll show you all that here in a second. I'll show you the first one. This is the form that I use, A to B wholesale agreements. Okay. And again, you don't have to use this one, you get your own, but one thing you do have to have is a mobile home purchase agreement. It has to have with option to assign. Okay, keep that in mind. Your form has to say with option to assign because it's exactly what you're going to be doing. Now, if somebody is buying it from you, okay, your buyer, okay, you're doing this business between A and B, and C over there is coming around the corner and say, hey, I want to use my own forms. Number one, that's a no. But two, if I see that they have something with an option to assign, we're not going to create this trickle. I've seen wholesale deals where I'm assigning to a wholesaler who's assigning to a wholesaler. Yeah, not happening. All right. Option to assign. This is simple data, the year, the model, the size, the bedroom, the bath, the VIN number, same as serial, same as ID for a mobile home, which is same as the vehicle. That's what defines a personal property located at. This is an example, guys. Okay, for the purchase price of $3,000 to be paid on the following. What it says here, very important. In full on closing date. Give yourself some time. I put this under agreement. It does not mean I have to close today. I'm gonna put this under agreement, but I need a week. Give me a week, Mr. Seller, so that I can do a little bit of due diligence. Okay, that's all you need. A little bit of due diligence. I'll come back to this section here. This is
Yeah, we have a
conditions.
question from Tracy.
Yep. Jose, I can't see the contract. I still see the
Oh
diagram.
no, sorry.
No,
Thank
no
you.
worries.
That's coming. How about now?
There you go.
There she is. My apologies. I'll go back quickly through it. So with option to assign, you want to make sure that this is listed with option to assign somewhere on the agreement. Just gives you the ability to assign it to somebody else. Common data that you use, same as a bill of sales, sales agreement, the year, model, size, bedroom, etc. Okay, for the purchase price of $3,000. This is an example on this deal to be paid on the following terms. Again, I don't pay up front. I'm going to pay once I close it, so that's going to be notated on here. In full and closing date. I'll come back to this one here. Conditions, the home is sold as is. I know how it is how I'm going to get it. Is what it is. Okay, and just a few little contingencies here. You can add, you can take away. If there's a certain county, state that you're doing business and you know there's different rules, laws, regulations, abide by them. Put them on there. Okay, so that's something you just want to be up to par with. Number 5, if the home must be moved once you buy it, then obviously you put I would give myself as much time as possible. I know a lot of people that call you may say, I will sell it to you for cheap if you can move it tomorrow. I'll move it within 60 days. That's what's going to be. Now, I know I can move within a couple weeks or 3 weeks, but you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you cut yourself short, okay? If it does not need to be moved, you can put an A or 0 on that line. The closing to be done, we put a set date, which is again what it says on closing date down here. Now, here's where you may get a little bit of kickback, okay? Where the seller is going to print their name, they're going to put their driver's license, I demand this, their signature and their date. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, most, maybe all, will say, well, why do you need my driver's? Why do I got to sign this? Why can't you just come back and close on it? My response to that is, look, I want you to feel secure by me when I'm sitting here telling you that I'm going to buy this from you. I'm going to sign it. That's irrelevant. So in the same form, I want to make sure that you're serious to sell to me. If I can't get a signature or driver license here, because I'm going to do the same thing, then maybe we just need to wait for another time. They get it. Okay. You're just being serious about this. Based upon final inspections, if you don't have a buyer and you have a product under contract, you're going to fail. You got to get the buyers first. You got to grow this. And the way to grow this is simply by branding, marketing, advertisement. We've done that over and over. I want to build a data of buyers and I want to know what they want to buy. John likes double wides only. Got it. Okay. Miss Cindy likes single wides, but they got to be 70 long. Got it. And you start creating a list that way so that when you're getting these deals or you're browsing for, you know, hey, I got a 2014 by 70. That's for Cindy. Bam. You're able to make that transaction quickly. Now, you're going to give yourself grace period of time, but should you not find a buyer, okay, should you not find a buyer for whatever reason, then this is a wait out because they can take this to court and say, here, I'm suing Jay for $3,000. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. All you have to do is say, based upon final inspections, it is not a home that we can move forward at this time. Don't use that, okay? The goal for you as a wholesaler is to come through. Let me know if y'all can see the second form. I'll go through this one quickly. I don't think y'all can. The way I'm switching, let me get off and go back in. I think that's what it is. I'm on a different tablet. Y'all see that now?
Yes.
So that was A to B, what I showed y'all. Now, this is B to C. This is now me, I'm the owner. treat it that way as mine. It's under my contract, so now I have to assign it to somebody else. Assignment of personal property, mobile home. That's what it is. Same data, date, time, okay, who you're assigning it to. Whereas you put all the details, same thing. Basically, you're copying from A to B to B to C. You put all the info. Be very specific when you include in the cell is, if you get all kinds of appliances, stove, fridge, dryer, make sure you put fridge, stove, dryer. Don't put the appliances. That's vague and won't hold in court. If you want the buyer, the assignee to cut the grass, clean up the lot once they move the mobile home, you need to list that all on here. You need to be specific. This is a very old form I'm showing you, but right here, once upon a time, it had a line that said, this is the numbers being marked up. I don't even remember what it said. Basically, this was where I was letting know how much I was making. That ain't none of their business how much I'm making. This is all they need to know. They're getting a heck of a deal, whatever that number is, which is not 3,000. I got it for 3K. Okay. Use forms, use contracts at all times. Like I said, handshakes do not work, and word of mouth is not going to happen. So, all right. Any questions?
Yeah, so Zach, what do you do when they ask for your driver's license?
I put my LLC.
Uh-huh. Okay. So just give them the name, or your what do you give them? Just the name of your LLC?
Yeah, I don't mind putting my LLC number on there.
Okay.
If you're a broker, you can use your broker number, whatever
Okay.
that gives you. Yeah, if you're just you, then you could do the driver's license. Yes.
You could also use a
Okay.
trust too. I use trust to hold a lot of mobile home titles, so I don't have to use my dealership. Because in Arizona, we have a hold on, I'm turning my video. A limit of how many titles that we can transfer in a 12-month calendar period before you need a dealer license. Same with like cars. So only some states I say you only 5 or 7 cars within a year period before you need a dealer's license. Arizona, it's 3. I have
Same
a
in North
picture.
Carolina. Yeah.
I have a picture I can upload to the school thing. I'll have to find it. It shows every state and all how many each state has. Some have 0.
Yeah, upload that. That's good.
And so sometimes I'll use a trust, so I don't use my personal name, because my personal name I'll run out too, and then I'll start going through my kids, my wife, my uncles, my aunts, everybody in my family. It'd be too much, so I use trusts, and those are same thing. You just go to the same place where you go to create an EIN for your LLC on the IRS.website. The first page, when you select what type of entity, you just select trust, and then revocable, which means it can be edited. And then they'll give you an EIN number, and just print that out or save it. And you can use that EIN number to open up a bank account if you want, but you can use that to put in vehicle titles. And it's simple. When you go to the DMV, they'll have like a form to rename or amend the name of the title. And as long as you put it into a trust, you don't have to like transfer. So you don't have to pay any DMV transfer fees if you're changing the name of the vehicle ownership into a trust. So it's not like if I wanted to transfer it for, say, my name to my wife's name, the DMV would consider that a sale, even though it's like still in our household, still our family. I would still have to pay like an $8 transfer fee in Arizona. With a trust, you don't have to.
But at the same time, Mark, the way I'm talking about doing is I don't like skipping title. That's not what I'm doing. But not signing the title and transferring into your name, I mean, that would obviously keep you from having one extra cell showing up.
Yeah. Or if it's in the trust, it's not your name. So you can have 80
Okay.
trusts and have one for each. Takes 30 seconds to make an EIN number. And that way it's still in a name, and it's not like going a tally against your name to the DMV for like how many you have each year. And that way you could still, if you wanted to transfer the title into a name, but not have to count up towards your limit for your personal self on how many you can hold per year, or your LLC, until you have to get a dealer's license. Or you can use the power of attorney. You can have the seller sign you a power of attorney, and that allows you to sign anything on behalf of the seller as if you're the seller. So like you can pay the park rent, you can pay liens. Like say it's 21st Mortgage, and they say, oh, I can't talk to you even if you're the agent, because you're not the person on the title. If you're a power of attorney, you can talk to 21st Mortgage directly on behalf of the seller and sign anything. Like say if you're going to wholesale it, but there's 21st Mortgage loan, you could use power of attorney to sign on behalf of the owner as if you're the owner.
And Mark, what we'll have you do is we'll have you do like a screen recording, just showing people how to create one for sure.
Power of attorney. It's a form at the DMV. So when you go to the DMV, you just ask for the form. Here, I'll watch. I'll do it right now. It takes like for let me do the whole screen. I'll go to a dot POA, and they literally just have a form just like you would if you were doing a bill of sale. Hold on, I think because I'm screen sharing, it's going a little slow.
Yeah, it's going a little slow.
But let's see. Yeah, it's because I'm screen sharing at the same time. But this is straight up the Arizona Department of Transportation website, and they have these forms already there. They even have them at the desk if you go in.
Get your notes.
And this will let you
out.
still pay
Get
the
your
rent too. So
notes
say
out.
if you buy the home and you don't want to like sign a new lease with the power of attorney, you can still keep the title in the old person's name and you pay the rent and not have to sign a new lease and make a new application with the park. The park will have to accept the rent from you personally, like with a check with your name on it. Because usually they don't let you do that. Without the power of attorney, at least. So literally just ask for the VIN number, year, make, model. Just put for body style in Arizona, you just put mobile home and they don't really care. And then the attorney in fact would be where your name goes, my mailing address, buyer, seller. This would be the seller's or the owner's name, the previous owner. Their info, and that's it. And you just take this to the, and then you just fill out the DMV. The DMV will notarize it. And then if you read this middle section, it says that I appoint attorney in fact to sign all papers and documents required to secure the title and further grant authority to endorse and transfer the title thereto. So that means you could sign anything for bonded titles. You could sign anything that has to do with liens. Like when you go to the DMV and say you're trying to do your due diligence on a, I'll stop sharing so this isn't slowing things down anymore. You're trying to look up a title and like say you check the taxes. You know, you're going to buy a home. You want to check the taxes. You probably ask the park if the rent's current, and then you can check to see if there's any liens. But if you go to the DMV and you give them the VIN number, they'll tell you the lien, but they won't tell you who the lien's from unless you're the owner. I've had times where I've bought homes through bills of sales and went to the DMV and tried to get a title and couldn't because there was a lien. But even though I bought it, I couldn't get the information on who the lien holder was to pay it off because I wasn't the person on the lien. But if you're the power of attorney, you can get that information because you can sign on behalf of that person as like almost like a medical power of attorney if one of like your parents or siblings or wife or something was in the hospital and you needed to like they're in surgery or something and they ask for the medical power of attorney, same thing, but this is specifically and only just for this vehicle, the VIN number that you put on this document, so they can give you the information for if there's a lien on it. I had bought like, what was it, 42 mobile homes from a park that was closing and it went bankrupt and the owners had passed away, and we had bought all these from the new developer that was building an apartment complex there. And the title work was crazy because this was like the week everything locked down during COVID, like days before, and COVID lockdown and everything was shut down. They were only letting us do 3 bonded titles per day because like they only had so many people per line and 5 feet apart type thing. And we couldn't get any of the information for the liens, even though they were already sold to the developer. So like even the developer was able to transfer these titles with the liens on them, but nobody could get the liens off. So we had to like go back and get power of attorneys from the son who was the old owner's kid and stuff like that to get the information to get these liens removed so we could sell the titles. I know Jose talks about getting these bonded titles. He already, I think, talked about it once a year, but I know he's got a lot of info on bonded titles. But using the power of attorney will definitely help you in that process, getting a lot of the information that you won't be able to.
122 bond titles to date.
Let's go. Anybody else got some questions in here today about wholesaling, about the contracts?
You know, one thing about wholesaling, a lot of people think, oh man, that's for newbies. I'm big time. I don't need to wholesale. The more you grow, the more deals that come your way, the more you should be wholesaling. That's not a newbie thing, because it comes to a certain point where it's like you can't take all the deals. I mean, it's an abundance of them. So that's where I make a win-win connection. I always have the deals. I know buyers. I make the connection, and you get paid. That's a no-brainer. So I definitely encourage everybody that whether you start or carry on later on, you got to be doing wholesaling.
Yeah, I love it. I love wholesaling. I mean, it's my strategy getting started just to even help me with just learning about mobile homes and all the processes. I would encourage anybody getting started to wholesale because you learn so much. Jose, quick question about the contracts. I love how yours are so simple and to the point. Would you be willing to provide them as an example to us in the community?
Glad to. I will make sure we share it. And one thing about that is I don't need to share it all here. I don't need to go through the whole, we're not legal attorneys, etc. I'll say this. I will post them for educational purposes only. Should you choose to use them, I use them. Have at it.
All right, cool. Thank you.
That'll be inside the templates to use, guys, inside the community. With that being said, anybody in here got questions? Janice, Kim, you got some questions? Tamisha, what's going on? I see Tracy being real transparent in here today. What's going on?
I don't have any questions at this time.
Okay. What about you, Kim? I see you came off of mute.
No, I just wanted to say I'm soaking up all the knowledge. Thank you. And Jose, you made a good point. You know, at some point you just gotta start wholesaling because you can't get all the deals yourself. So that is so
Well, sell them
true.
to me. I'll buy them. I'll buy them from me. I won't even ask you how much you're making. I don't care.
Did you do it? Did you do Maryland?
Maryland?
Yeah.
No. Kim, did you attend one of my events one time?
Yes, we met in person. I brought my assistant down to Naples, Florida. Yeah.
I thought I remembered you. I was like, I know Kim from somewhere. Like, yeah. Naples. That's when we were doing the meetups. Small
Yeah.
world. Okay.
Yep.
You were in Naples and nobody told me? I can't believe you were in Naples. That's my neck of the woods.
So this
I
was
love
2
Naples.
years ago. Yeah, this was 2 years ago because what's the Cutco guy? He was there too. He was super nice.
Ray Gomez. Yeah. Okay. Well, one big family. We're gonna all become again.
Exactly. Yeah, I even won a thing to come to your live event, but I couldn't make the live event. You gave me a certificate to come for free.
Oh man, it's expired now. Yeah.
Yes.
Kidding. I will talk about the master here in a few minutes, but go ahead. I'm thinking that's something to say there. Holden.
No. Tamisha, any questions you got? What did you get from the wholesale presentation?
I was driving and talking to my daughter, but the part that I did hear was something about the power of attorney and how important that was to have the mobile home. That way you can get the information. Hello?
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
Yeah. So Mark, you want to touch a little bit on the power of attorney real quick?
Yeah, if there was it was kind of going in and out a little bit. So if there was a question, I didn't
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't ask the question. I was just saying I was just saying that what I gathered from the power of attorney is that it's important to get that. I didn't get what aspect. However, the importance of getting it was so that if there's a lien on the mobile home, you can get the information on who the lien holder is.
Yes, without it, there's no other way. Even if you bought the mobile home, you still like say like I don't know, you just find one and somebody says here the lien's clear and you already paid for it and they gave you the title and you just take the title to the DMV, right? You've already paid for it, notarized it, the taxes were paid, but then you go to the DMV to transfer it into your name, and then they say there's a lien. And the person who you got it from may not even know, because sometimes, the people just sign the back of the title and hand it to them and they never transfer it into their name. They just have the back signed. And it could be like 1 or 2 people ago of of who that lien might have been. So there's times where you got to go find those people and get the power of attorney, and that's how you can talk to them directly. And specifically, where it comes up the most is when people have mortgages, like if they have 21st mortgage or somebody has a current loan, and you're wholesaling it or you want to buy it, and you want to make a settlement with the mortgage company. Sometimes they'll let you make a settlement on the loan, pay off all now 40%, 60%. I've seen as low as like 25% of the remaining balance and just cash it out. And they'll only talk to the people who are signed on the loan, unless you have the power of attorney that gives you the power to sign on behalf of the owner for anything in terms of securing the title, whether it's getting things like a bonded title if there's liens, or even paying the park rent. So like, say you buy, like for me, for instance, I'm not 55 or older. I buy a home in a 55 plus park, and it's not an investor friendly park. There's a lot of those here because Arizona is a big like retirement state. So a lot of like big corporate and Canadian owners of mobile home parks are here, and very like 5-star resort type of, they got golf courses in them, people driving around in golf carts all day. They're very not investor friendly. And so there's no way I could go in there and buy a home and sign a lease, since they're not investor friendly. They just want those residents. So, one thing I can do if I do buy a home and want to flip it in there, without like buying the title, transferring the title into my name, and then trying to get a new lease with the park and trying to figure that out, knowing that they're not investor friendly and I'm not 55 or older. Before, I had to use my mom's name because my mom's over 55 years or older, and I would just say, oh, it's for my mom. I'm moving her out to Arizona and going to fix it up for her. I'd have to tell every park that. But instead, I would just get the power of attorney of the previous owner. That way I could keep the title in the name and wouldn't have to unaffect the rent at all. Like the park would have no idea that any of this happened. I could just keep paying rent using the power of attorney, like a rent. So you got to do cashier's checks with my name on it from my bank account, otherwise they'd be like, whose bank account is this? But if with the power of attorney, it allows me to pay their rent and continue that lease like nothing ever happened, in the park, effectively doesn't know anything's involved other than, they got a power of attorney. And that could be for anything in these 55 plus parks. They could have a financial advisor doing it. They could have, a family member because they're, medically need help doing that type of stuff. It could be all kinds of reasons where the park wouldn't really ask. So I've had to use that a lot here for those type of circumstances, dealing with like 21st mortgage or dealing with paying mobile home park rent, and for me, more specifically, 55 plus parks.
That's awesome, Mark. Great insight. Great insight. Okay, everybody. What I like to do now is I like to move into the Q&A section. Let's take a deep dive on your situation, where you're currently at inside of a deal. That way we can give you some insight to get you to move closer to the money. All right. And when I call your name out, just tell a little bit about the situation where you at, and we will jump right on top of it. Janice, I was coming for you first. How's the shopping going?
It's going. I found some prospects, but it's 2 different mobile home parks. But both contact information is no good. So the numbers don't work or anything like that. Did not really see an office in the park, in both parks. And I'm just right now going around to parks that I'm familiar with. I'm going to venture out a little further this weekend to some other city towns that I'm familiar with.
Okay, so have you actually been pulling up at some different parks, and you just haven't been finding anything for sale? Have you been calling the community manager?
That's correct. I mean, the community manager, that's what I'm saying. The contact information was no good.
Now, where are you getting this contact information from? Are you getting it from the tenants who actually got to talk to them?
I haven't done that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back through and actually talk to some tenants in the park.
Yeah, man. That's the fastest way to get some real numbers is you literally, hey, where do I pay my lot rent? You can literally just act like that. Hey, where do I pay my lot rent at here? I've seen it misplaced the number. You ain't even got to really go too hard about, yeah, I'm in here to buy up some stuff. It's like, you know, hey, what's the park manager name and numbers for the lot rent? I'm helping one of my friends pay for the lot. They seem to misplace that. They lost their phone. Do you happen to have their number? And then, man, they give that number up fast as 911 number. Like, they'll tell you.
Right. Okay.
Name and number. And
All
then
right. Because
what you
we
gonna
did.
say? What you gonna say when you get on the phone with them?
What am I going to say?
Yep. What are you going to say when you get that lady on the phone or that man on the phone who's the park manager? Let me hear it.
I'm just going to inquire about about the spaces that I've seen. That's
Okay, so
empty.
you have seen spaces for sale. You just ain't been able to get in touch with the person who's selling.
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, you in a good boat.
So I just need the contact information for the 2 parks. And then from there, I'll move on from there. And like I said, this weekend I'm going shopping again in a different area.
That's good. That's good. Once you get one good person, you can run the whole park down.
So I plan on going. My plan is to go back through there and take your suggestion. That's a good one. It's just to inquire. I'm trying to pay the lot rent and help a friend out, so I can get the contact information for both of those parks and then venture to the new parks.
Let's go. You got this. Anybody else got some insight for Janice?
I think that's good, but again, I think that takes a lot of time. So, I still believe that social media is the best way to go. There's a lot of mobile home parks that are out there that are not listed anywhere. There's no numbers. It's almost like they're private somehow. I have had people call me and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about selling a mobile home. I saw your ad." And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the address. And when they set lot number this, where's in this unit or whatever, I know it's a community. I have found a lot of parks I would not otherwise have found if they hadn't called me. So I would say stick to Facebook Marketplace. Look up the city and the state, wherever it is that you're trying to do business, and you need to be posting every evening. The best times are between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. That's when our clientele is up and browsing to social media. I buy mobile homes any condition. Call me, DM me, drop a comment. You just do that over and over. 10 ads today, 10 ads tomorrow, 10 ads Wednesday. You go back to your ads from Monday and you start commenting on your own ads. That makes them be refreshing back on top. So by the end of the week, you got 100 ads up there. That's what's going to work. Consistency.
Okay, thank you so much, Jose, for that. I will do that. That's great advice.
Absolutely.
Coaches, anybody else got some insight for Janice?
You might be able to try mhvillage.com. Sometimes they got parks, sometimes they don't. Some areas do, some areas don't, but that's a place you can try to look if you haven't already.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm jotting all this down. I'm jotting it all down. Thank you.
I know some parks have Facebook pages too, if you try to look up their Facebook page.
Okay.
I had a friend make a Facebook page for a park that didn't have one before because they didn't have one, and the park didn't like that, and they got a hold of them really quick.
And I was going to suggest something similar. I mean, it depends on what your strengths are. If you're like Brad, I think definitely go to that community and just get in there. I'm an introvert. It's like, for me, what I would do is, like, they don't have any contact info. You said you saw some homes available. Like, they didn't have any contact info there.
No, they did not. With the parks, I got the number, the contact information from the websites, but that phone number, the information they have is not, the phone numbers they're not working. They're not out of order. They're not valid. So with that being said, I have to take Brad's suggestion and just go to the park and talk to some of the tenants or a tenant like I'm trying to pay the lot rent.
And then
Because the other thing you could do is play detective.
My bad. In the meantime, while you out there, make sure you get some videos that you out there. And you know, that, you know, really show it like, hey, I'm out here, I'm looking to acquire this mobile home. If you have a mobile home for sale, don't be afraid, DM me, call me. You know, you got to get active. Long story short, get active.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna say too, you could play detective. See if they've ever posted on Marketplace. Search for that specific park. Search on Craigslist for that park name. See if they had any old listings, and then go ahead. You know, there would be some kind of contact info there too. That's just another resource you could use to try and find info on them.
Okay, thank you. All great ideas. Thank you.
You got this. You got this.
I just want to add one more thing. I know, Brad, you said be in the park. That's my thing. Get out, talk to people. But I'm also a realtor. So find an address in the park, look up that address, and it will tell you homes that have sold, or if a unit has ever been listed with an agent, and then call that agent and find out who they talked to at the park, because agents have to talk to the park at some point.
Great info, Kim.
Thank you. Great information. Thank you.
One more thing, also, sometimes you can go on the Secretary of State for the park owner, and that phone number for that park will be on the documents in the North Carolina Secretary of State.
All right. Thank you. I'm writing all this down.
Gems on gems. And before we get into the next person that I'm going to call out, guys, make sure you taking the notes and then you putting them back into the community. You've been doing a great job. You don't have to bullet point every single part. If you want, do one good gem that you got, and then the next post, do another good gem. The next post, do another good gem. But the reason I'm saying it is I want to see who's going to be the top contributor to the community, and who's going to win that cash prize that we put together for you guys. So the top leaderboard winner, June 1st, will be receiving a cash prize, and it will be enough for you to pay for your community for the next 4 months for sure. All right, with that being said, you know what? I'm very intrigued about Tamisha's deal. I'm ready to see where she at with it. Let's go, Tamisha. I know you're riding in the car right now. Can you hear me, Tamisha? I'm calling you out.
There we go, finally. I spoke with her yesterday, and she hadn't said anything to her husband, but the message that I actually gave her was that I said my team has 2 floor plans available. Well, I first was like, hey, how you doing? Hope your father is well, you know, all that stuff. And then I said I wanted to follow up with you, let you know that the team has 2 floor plans available. So, you know, just checking to see if you done spoke to your husband. And so her response was kind of like a sense of urgency, like, oh, she's really not playing. No, I'm really not playing. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay, what was her exact response?
I could tell you, give me a second. He said, good morning. Oh, she said, good morning. She said, yes, he's home, and thank you for asking. Okay, that sounds good. I'll have to get with Lawrence too, so he can hear what's going on. Thank you for all you do. And she said, how are you? Hope all is well with you too.
Okay, just a little backstory for every one of the coaches, so y'all can get ready to throw some insight here. She's about to try her first ever land home package deal. The client already has their own land. They already been pre-approved for $280,000. They don't want to spend $280,000. We're gonna try to get them 2 different floor plans, a 3-bedroom and a 4-bedroom. They want a double wide, so it's looking like they want to get a double wide, and they want to be able to have it fully set up on their own land already. And now she's doing more of the follow-up game right now. And what we're doing is we're trying to help her get to the next step to be able to take this deal down. My first tips for you from where you are right now is, man, this back and forth to me gotta stop. When can we get up for some coffee? When can we get up for something? I gotta get up with you. When can I, like, when is the next time she coming to get that hair done? When can you get her where it don't be no, when can you get her and the husband together? That's gonna be the big thing. Cause if she come get her hair done and you just talking, it's gonna be the same thing. Let me talk to Lauren. Let me talk to my man. Let me talk to my husband.
I will. Yeah, I was just thinking. I guess I had a random thought. But what if I, kind of let her know, because you guys gave me like some insight and was like, okay, to be the mobile home, it'll be the setup, all the what you call the septic tank and the water, and you have mentioned something about.
Did you find out if she had septic and water
Yes, I
already
did.
there?
Yes, I did. They do not.
And is the land already cleared or not cleared?
That's the part I didn't ask.
Yeah, write that down. We need it because even though she own her own land, if that land is not cleared, she about to get into a 50 ball. She about to get into a 50 ball worth of fixing stuff. Of course, I just always try to say the most possible, because it might cost $6,000 to get that land cleared up and landscaped right. It might cost about $5,000 to $8,000 for some good foundation in the driveway. Then you got about another $10,000-15,000 for setup, if not 20 for setup. So we're already almost near 40,000 already. And we ain't even brought the home yet. And we ain't even got the well. I didn't even say well or septic yet. What a septic is, Mark, about $8,000.
At least if you're doing a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you typically need like 500 square feet of leach field area. And that depends on if her land can even fit all this too. If her land's big enough to fit a septic tank and a
Land
home,
will need to be perched.
all that, and they're gonna have to do 3 test sites. But yeah, at least 8,000 on the low end, if not up to 12 to 15. That's extreme, but the tank itself is going to be like 4,000. Just the tank alone, just out the ticket off the shelf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the next thing. Is the land clear? I think that's the next biggest question. When is the land cleared? And if not, and then the next biggest question is when you and your husband can get up.
And so, okay, let's say she give me a response to that. What do I need to have prepared when we meet up?
Yeah, and you can reach out to me anytime before, like, hey, I got the meeting set up. Then I can go through, then me, you can go back and forth about exactly where they at. Cause I know for sure they need to get that land perch. That's off top to even see if something can sit on there.
Okay.
And then did we already ask them what the land is zoned? Is the land zoned to be able to put mobile homes there?
I'll ask them.
Cause that's a deal killer right there.
Okay.
So what you just wrote down? What's your next steps?
Has the land been cleared? Is it perched? And what is it zoned?
It definitely ain't perched yet. Just as the land cleared, and when can we get up? That way, whenever you got the day you're gonna get up, we can go ahead and hit you with a bunch of questions that need to get answered. I think that's the best route to take. Because all this back and forth gonna be
just back and forth.
Exactly, it's gonna be number rah. We just gotta just go, hey, is the land cleared? Okay, when the next time we all can get up, and then get that day wherever y'all decide to meet up at, and we'll have a list of questions for you to get answered. That way you can get the answer to that, and those questions will definitely set the authority. Because when they hear that yeah, we're gonna need to get it perched, we're gonna need to be able to do this, they're gonna be like, yeah. Now I'm starting to see why they was trying to charge me so much. And then she might be, like I said, you might be able to save her 50,000 and make you 30 to 40,000. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to save her about that 80, but for what she gonna want if that land is got a bunch of stuff on it, and depending on how big is how many acres was it, 1 or 2?
I don't know if I
It's
got
at
it.
least got to be over 12,000 square feet to fit a septic in any size double wide. That's about as small as I can fit them here in Arizona, and we have no yards. We like you can wash your hands in your neighbor's kitchen sink through your window, you know,
Through the window.
in your bedroom.
What's that in acreage, Mark? Like 12,000 square feet. How much does that work out to in acreage? Like
I
point
think it was
something?
what, 5,650,
Like-
something like that.
Yeah, 43,560, but
Yeah.
about a 10th to a 12th of an acre.
Oh, that's tiny.
Yeah, about 12 of those is an acre.
When you say you could fit a double wide on that, because I got I think it's 0.19 acres, and I was going to do a single wide because I didn't think it was big enough for a double.
Depends on what size double wide. You could probably find a shorter one. It depends on your setbacks. That's a big
Yeah, I
thing.
was just about
How
to
far
say
back
them
you have to be set
setbacks.
from the street. You can usually tell by your neighbors how close the setbacks are from the street because they'll always normally put the house as close to the street as they'll allow. Like if you go down a neighborhood, you'll notice all the homes are like exactly the same amount back from the street because it's as close as they can get. And then the backyard's pretty more lenient, and then the sides they might say like 40 feet from each side or 20 feet from the sides or 8 feet. It depends on the zoning. I've seen 8 feet to 40 feet. If it's more than an acre, it's usually at least 40 feet. Then they don't go any further than that. But in really small lots, I've seen as close as 8 feet.
Yeah, Tamisha, that's where you at with it for sure. Those the two things you need to figure out. All right.
But also try to find a dealer too, or a dealership. See if you can find some brand new homes with warranties that you can, because they'll include all the install stuff that you can find some fresh floor plans that they can pick from.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be working with Danielle.
Still get a broker fee.
Yeah, Danielle will be able to definitely help you pick out a floor plan and get a good discount with her license for sure. And then, like I said, I still got some people. Yeah, she North Carolina, so she'll be able to take care of you on that.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, I mean, if you can get it all without having to do it all, a better price, you can negotiate better than her, talk better than her.
The septic you won't have to worry about. I always tell people do the septic after the mobile home's there because you have no idea how the mobile home is going to have to get onto the property. And the last thing you want is for the only way to get where it needs to go is to go over the septic system and crush it.
Gems. It
happens, like sometimes there's only one way through, and then the way that it's through is the way that they cleared to put the septic tank in.
Be out there looking crazy, mad as hell.
So do the septics after. And that way they're easier to connect the utilities once you know where your house is set. Because there's a certain pitch to septic tanks. They have to be at least 12 feet away from the house, sometimes 15 feet, depending on the zoning. And they have to have 1 to 1/12 ratio for every 11 inches. It has to be able to drop 1 inch in depth or height elevation difference. For every 11 inches, it's 1 inch. And within that 15 feet distance that it's allowed to be able to pass inspections and for the stuff to be able to go where it needs to go with gravity. And so it's easier to do when the mobile home's already set, because then you don't have to lift and lower the mobile home to adjust to the septic tank that's already in there. It makes it a pain.
Gems.
Yeah, that's real good.
Because sometimes if the septic tank's set at a certain height, and you need the mobile home to be at a certain height to hit that pitch elevation just right to pass inspections. But then sometimes the mobile home is too low to pass inspections because mobile homes can have to be between 18 to 36 inches off the ground. And sometimes to get that perfect pitch, if the septic tank is already in there, it has to be lower than 18 inches. Now you don't pass inspection. Very, 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 very bad problems. You got to redo everything. You just did almost everything from scratch. So I always tell people do septics last.
Great job, brother. Great job. Let's jump into Miss Kim. Miss Kim, what's your current deal looking like? I know you got a lot of motion going on. Where you at with it?
Well, I have a lot. I just did a closing, which was wonderful. So I'm excited to have that off the plate.
Congratulations. Make sure you drop that in the wins tab.
Thank you. And then we have well actually I don't even know if I talked to you guys since I did 3 acquisitions the other day. But it's just trying to build well, no, let me back up. Guys, I talked to Brad and he gave me such valuable information. I have not talked to anyone who just gave and gave and gave and gave. And I talked to my operations manager and he was excited about talking to Brad. So they're going to talk tomorrow. But he gave me such value because I was saying I need 3 of me. He told me how to do things. So I don't even need like another person. So I'm super excited about that. We're going to be making some changes in the way that we do things and it will free up my time and I won't have to hire more people. I brought on another person today, but I won't have to bring on any more people. So I'm excited. We just acquired some new units. We're going to closing on some other units and I'm like up to here with rehabs. I'm just doing some wholesaling right now because my main contractor is in New York and it's just a little bit of a challenge trying to get these rehabs done in a timely manner. So it's all about wholesaling right now.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh no, first of all, thank you for even saying that. I appreciate that. And yeah, we you well on your way, trust me. You got any specific help you might need with hiring some new contractors, some new ideas, maybe to grab some new ones up?
I need to figure out how I want to, well, I think I talked about using Fiverr to make a YouTube page for me because I started doing the videos already. I had my guy do a video today, and I'm going through some of the other ones. And one of you guys talked about Facebook Marketplace. Thank you for giving me the thing to get out of jail. And one of you guys tonight said something about I think it was Jose who talked about marketing on Facebook 110 times a day or in 10 groups a day. Is that what that was? And then you end up having 100 posts for the week, something like that. Was that what, did I hear that correctly, Jose?
Yeah, you heard that correct. And then he was saying, you know, throughout the week, go back on the old posts and put a comment so they refresh in the feed.
Okay. All right. And that's for selling, because like right now I have a ton of sellers coming to me. I don't have to market for sellers. I truly don't. I'm trying to market for buyers. And honestly, guys, my lead capture for buyers, if it's not on my website, it's me writing stuff down. And I've probably got 20 notebooks full of names and emails.
How to use Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is the best for that. And just keep your listings up. Never take them down. That way, when people still message you, Facebook will keep every person, and you can just go back and message them. And if you get new stuff that's like that home, you can just say, "Hey, I got new inventory." But it really organizes all the leads. And for me here, let me pull it. Keep talking, but I'm gonna pull mine up, and I'm not gonna do it on screen share till it's ready because it slows my thing down. But I'll show you what I mean. I have like all my listings from 2016 and people still message on the old ones and I still get those old leads still message.
So my only thing is I'm in
me on current stuff or like remessaging that.
What'd you say, Mark? I
You're
think
in Facebook jail on Marketplace or Messenger or all around?
All around. I can't do anything on Marketplace on my primary account. So I've set up an additional account, but I just don't have the traction on this additional account. So Brad sent me something on how to get out of Marketplace jail. So I'm going to work on that tonight.
Do you have your own Facebook group?
I have a couple. Do I have my own? No, I don't have my own group. I just have my own Marketplace, my personal page, and then I have a business page.
I have my own group. So on all my listings, I put the link to my group in, and my group is Arizona Mobile Homes. It was the first one, so it just made it really easy for me to name it that. But all my leads, I say, hey, join the group. I got all the inventory in there and future inventory and all the info. Because on my listings, I put no info at all for me at all. Because I know people are window shopping. And what I really want to do is avoid window shoppers. I don't want people to look at my listings and get all the information that they need and then be able to look through it and then leave without me knowing about it. So I always say message for more info and join the group to see all the information on this inventory. So that way I can capture them in 2 different places. That way I don't get any window shoppers. So I usually don't even put any pictures. I put like 1 or 2 pictures. That way they at least message me, hey, do you have any more pictures? And that way I can capture that lead and say, yep, all the pictures are in the group, send them the link to the group, and then I can keep dialogue with them there. And then later on, I post more stuff into my group, and I let other people post stuff in my group too. But I've grown organically just through, like, I don't market this group other than having it in the only thing that is in the description of my post. All my listings have like one photo of the outside and one decent photo of the inside. Some of them a bedroom. I won't even show the other ones because I know people are gonna want them. And I just put message for more info and photos, and then join the group. And there's a link to the group. And that way I make sure everybody contacts me who looks at it, or who really is serious. That way I don't get any window shoppers. And organically over the years, just by doing that and nothing else, and by doing like what Jose says, just sharing the listing into 10 groups every day. Marketplace allows you to do 20, so I do 20 every day, morning and night, maybe lunch. And my group has grown about 300 people every day now for the past 3 years, not touching anything on Facebook. Like, I haven't even opened the app in 3 years, and still on a daily basis, 300 people join the group.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you have multiple groups though, because I think I'm in a couple of your groups, right?
It's not mine. But the only group that I own and admin is Arizona Mobile Homes. It's just pure marketplace. It's
Oh,
nothing but clean mobile home posts. I mean, just listings.
okay.
I'm involved in other groups. Like, I participate in other groups, but none of those groups I own, operate, or run. Just Arizona Mobile Homes. It's where I post all my inventory and all my leads. I funnel into there, and so I get new inventory. They can all see it through there.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I met you through Trailer Cash
Yep.
years ago. So, okay, Brad, that's something we have to work on.
Oh yeah, that's the sauce right there. That's the
Yeah.
sauce. And congratulations on getting started on those videos. I mean, making
Thanks.
videos is just 20% of it. Is the other 80% is actually posting and staying consistent.
Yeah, because right now I actually put as many pictures as I can, because people, is it available? Is it available? Can I see the kitchen? Can I see the bedroom? So we try and post as many pictures as we can, so that I might get 1,500 views on a unit, and 25 people are interested in taking a tour. But I like the way you said, listen, every view is a tour when you actually do that. So
Yep. You know what I showed you? When they come through the marketplace, like what Mark just said was gems. But like I said, the way I do it is when they come through marketplace, I get them my number. They come into the CRM, I bag and tag them, and now I'm playing a video game. New listing come up, it's the same thing. You just shooting it right back out to everybody, but you got their phone number and emails locked all the way in. And if they want to call you right then and there, we can get busy.
yeah, that's what I need to do, because it's all pencil and paper right now, unless they go to my website. My website captures information, but it's all old school and it's just exhausting.
Yo, we about to get you right. You know that.
Yep, definitely. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. You've been dropping some gems tonight.
Yeah. Mark he on his pivot today.
I think I got this.
We can't forget about the one and only Miss Tracy. Where you at with these deals, girl?
Hey, Brad. I'm trying to take off my camera. Hey, y'all. Okay. So I've got some stuff that came up. I've got that 1978 that I actually sold on Sunday. And then the buyer comes yesterday, and he was like, hey, I want to make sure I can find the VIN on the house. And I was like, oh, okay. So I go through the house, I find the data plate in the electrical box. The data plate only had the last 4 digits of the VIN on there. But in that same box, they had all the original paperwork, and the original manufacturer's manual was in there with it was called serial number on the front of that manual, which was the full number that matched the last 4 of that, the last 4 digits on the data plate. And this guy was fixated, and it matched the title, by the way. Matched the title. It was listed as the serial number on the manual, but on the title, it's the VIN. So this guy was adamant, well, it should be a fixed. North Carolina law says it should be affixed to the mobile home. And because that serial number form was not like attached to the data plate or on the home, he was like, well, it's illegal to sell it and all this and that. And so I called the DMV and I was like, hey, I told them, I said, I'm purchasing this mobile home. I have this information that clearly matches my clearly matches my title. And I have searched on the tongue, which we did, to try to see if we could find the VIN on their tongue. And it was so rusty. I mean, there was nothing there. So this guy, it was just a whole ordeal, let me tell you. So basically, I ended up giving him his deposit back. And he was like, well, if you get the licensing people out here to confirm that this home matches that title, then I'll give you an extra $500. And I don't even want to deal with him because I think it's ridiculous when all of this information that is clearly visible matches, even though that serial number, it wasn't affixed to the house. So I just needed some feedback. I put it in the
Did the
group, like in a
DMV,
general
did the
discussion.
DMV, my bad. Did the DMV confirm
Yeah.
that it was good?
Yes. Yes.
Did you ask him to come with you to the DMV?
No. So he left. He was like, well, I got stuff to do. I called Raleigh. I called our, like, the headquarters DMV, and I talked to them about what it was, and they asked me all the information. They asked me for the VIN, they asked me for the serial, who owned it, and all of that. And she was like, well, it's a 1978. You might not find that VIN on the tongue, you know. So I called him back and said, hey, you know, this is what the DMV says. And he is like, no, it is not affixed to the home. So
before I let everybody get technical on you, because I know they ready to go ham. I already could tell they ready to come out the gates.
I was
want to just
ready
give
for it.
I just want to give some a different type of feedback, right? First of all, just breathe, because like, we don't have to sell this. You're not even selling. What you're doing, you're dealing with people, right? And
Yes.
even me, my last deal that I just did, I got somebody who she's frustrated, right? And what I had to realize is she's just asking questions. If I can take my emotions out of this, she's just asking questions. And when I switched that gear to that, I literally flipped that switch, she became likable to me. You know why? Because I moved like how she moved now. And every time before we got off the phone, I hit her with, do you got any more questions for me?
Yeah.
Can you think of anything else that I can help? So we both clear. So we both good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
moving forward, the last thing we want to do is get too much oomph about us in this game, right? I feel like we should have some, like, it's like, yo, come on, man, get out of here. Like, but at the end of the day, it's like a lot of people gotta work almost 100, 200 hours to get the type of dough we gonna get for communicating with one human being. Now we can break down to that type of vibe. Now it's a whole nother world now. Now it's like, hey, I'm gonna get 20, 30 bands if I just talk to them nice. If I just shift my gears to where it's like, you know what, I'm on what you on. Let's figure this out. I want to make sure it's right. It's like me, I will almost get mad. Like, I get mad with them. It's like I get mad.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. We're gonna make sure we ain't getting done wrong here. And they like, yeah, you right. Like, yeah. Yeah, I love it. Yo, you know what? Meet me at the DMV. We're gonna run this down. And it's like, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there with you. And now when you at the DMV, y'all both in there with the mad face. And he like, yeah, this my man right here. Yeah, let's run them down. And then now and you already know in your head, the DMV gonna be like, yeah, it's all good. But now that see that, you'll go to war with him with the same vibes, with a different perspective. He gonna be ready to shop and tell friends and family members like, yo, she went to bat for me, you know? So before Mark and Jose go in about the details of serials and VINs and IDs and why all of that stuff is correct, I just wanted to, I could tell that was frustrating the hell out of me.
It was so frustrating. Like, I have done 9 deals. I've never had like somebody who was just, he was the most difficult person I've ever had to work with. And I'm a very cool, calm, collected person. Yesterday though, I was still calm and collected. Like I didn't, amp on him or anything like that. But you could tell I was frustrated. And I always try to, I have a counseling background, so I know how to keep a poker face. But yesterday was something about this guy. So
hey, switch them gears on them. Switch them. Jump on. Two people can't be mad. Two people can't it's like real psychology. Literally jump into the same mad boat with them. You know what? I'm mad too.
We gotta figure this out.
We're gonna figure this out. Yeah, now y'all rolling in the same direction,
Yep.
You got this. Yep. I'm telling you, it's all in your head. Like, man,
yeah.
And the biggest thing I'm gonna say before I pass it over to Jose or Mark is that man, the person who gotta pay $5,000 versus the person who got to pay $50. The person who gonna pay $5,000, yeah, the bread already in there. Yeah, the check already cut. The person who gonna be spending lower money, $50 or something like that, they got 1,000 damn questions for you.
Yeah.
So just always remember that, when you get ready to go do your a $200,000 deal or $100,000 deal, that person gonna be too smooth. You're gonna be like, why ain't I been doing these deals?
Right.
That's just how us humans are, because you got to remember, some people are using their last with you. You feel me?
Understood. Yep.
You got this. Just switch the gears, jump in the same boat with them, and get and show them, yo, I'm on the same thing you on. And the best thing you can always ask before you get off that phone or y'all discuss
any more questions.
You got any more questions that we need to run down before we both go get something to eat or something? Any more questions? You can't think of nothing else that I can help you hunt down. And then now that's what people want to do. You don't got to sell this stuff; it sells itself. But you got to you don't want to vibe your way out of the deal, because what you feeling, he might be feeling like, yeah, she getting frustrated, and I'm just asking damn questions. I can spend my fucking last of my savings with her. And even though you're looking at your spread, they're looking at the whole thing,
Yeah. It's like, well, I'm about to spend 15,000. And you're right, Brad, because I've had a lady cash out 45,000. She was like, here. Here you go.
Ain't even got a question for you.
And it's his money. I'm not saying that, because it's a less amount, it's a lesser value, but it's just funny you said that, because I never realized that, but it's true. And you're right though. Yes, you're right. Thank you for that, because I needed that. And I wanted to really unpack like why this particular situation frustrated me so much. It's almost like he came in like, oh, and I need your driver's license, and I need her driver's license, and I need to make sure that this is this. Like, he came in demanding, and we just met on Sunday, and we could have gone through all this stuff, So I don't know. And he also knew the people that were selling. He went to school with them. I think there might have been some bad blood, because the seller was there because it was his mom who's selling the home, and so she's older, so he was there. And so I don't know what that was. It was just a bad.
Man, it probably ain't even have nothing to do with you. It could have been something
it
could have been something that dude did when they was in school. He'd be like, yo, I know him. That Mo right there, tricky. He probably like, I ain't gonna tell his business. I ain't gonna tell you his business, but I know who that is, and I know how his mama get down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be a bunch of
out the gate.
It'd be a bunch of stuff.
As soon as he found out who was selling. So yeah, that's another story. But anyway, all right.
Yeah, man. Well, my big thing, just jump in the same boat with him and start rolling with him and get mad with him, and I got my driver's license right here. Let's do it. You got yours? Like, you got yours? Let's go. Let's take care of this. Make sure everything goes legit. All 100% money guarantee. You already know you'll do that, but they don't know you ain't said it. Little stuff like that. Yo, if this don't go right, I'll go to my bank account myself and take it out.
There we go.
It's your money. I don't want no problems.
Yes.
move. It's all about how you position your brain and how you position the vibe. The vibe is everything. The vibe sells itself, you know. You
My
ain't got
vibe
to
has
tell
been
nobody
great,
nothing.
bro.
Y'all
Listen, I
got this,
feel
man.
like my charm been been making these deals happen, but this one,
Man, it's the product. The product sell itself. It's affordable.
yeah.
And one the biggest thing I learned was they wouldn't even be on the phone with you if they already wouldn't consider purchasing.
Got it.
You're all the one
Understood.
talking them out of it.
Yep.
You is.
That's good.
You in the way.
Mhm.
That's why the questions literally just alley oops everything. If nobody ain't got no more questions, well, the next question is how you paying? Cash or wire? What we doing? We ain't got no more questions. This is the last question. How we paying? Sign here.
Yeah.
And that's why I love to tell people, come with me to the DMV. Let's make sure everything go right. Yeah. You follow me. Let's go. They love that. They're like, yeah. Now I know if he doing something, it's gonna show now. I'm not like, I'm not doing nothing. I want my bread the same way you want yours.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you say let's go to the DMV, would you just take, like, would you have asked the
I
seller
literally
just
wait
to
with them
hold
until they
that
put it in their
title?
name. Until the DMV give them back that receipt and everything, and they put it in their name. I'm sitting there with them. I'm up there getting the waiting number with them. I'm sitting there at the wait. We up there. We talking about bullshit until we get called up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
me?
this one was unique though, because the lady was elderly. So I had a notary come to the house. And so she, she wasn't well enough. She's, she's coherent, but her body isn't well enough to go,
Yeah,
stand in line
she
at
can
the
stay
DMV.
there. The buyer.
Yeah.
The buyer.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
one
yeah.
gonna pay us. You put
Take
your
them
arm
to the
around there. You
DMV.
put your arm around, buddy. Let's go. You can walk and talk. We going to the DMV together. We making sure you got this in your name with no problems. I got the serial, the VIN. I got my ID. You got your ID. Yeah, we know what's in their name. You know them. I gotta get paid too. But I'm showing you what you paying me for. You paying me for doing the full due diligence that they ain't gonna do.
Right.
Questions is man. Question them to death. I'll question you. Questioning me to death. I'm gonna question you to death. And I'm jumping in the same boat with you. You happy? I'm happy too. You mad? I'm mad too. So, Mark, go crazy.
Yeah, you can even if you do come across a situation where the people aren't like physically able, or sometimes they're out of state or their job hours they can't get out. I've done deals with people who have government jobs and they literally can't leave. You know what I mean? In those situations, I use escrow companies, like a title company, and open up an escrow account like a regular house, and then and either whether if I gotta drive the documents to the title company, or if I can fax them in or email them in, and then they'll do the stuff on their end with the buyer, and the buyer will transfer their money to the escrow account. They're not even making the check out to me. They make it out to they don't even, the title company gets their wire info, their bank info. They collect the payment. When everything goes through, title company, doesn't send any money till everything goes through. The title company sends the title, does all the title work. It's kind of like a notary almost, like a third party that you can kind of use. In Arizona, we have to use them if we sell a home over $50,000. Which is unfortunately now extremely common in Arizona because California people are leaving. But it comes in handy because it just comes in handy if you need to do that. And then the title company will basically wire you your money, and then the seller their money. And even on homes that I include transport, because I have a transport mobile homes and install and do all their stuff too. They'll do a payment schedule. Well, they'll say, okay, just random numbers, 20,000 for the title, 5,000 deposit for the transport, and then they'll give me like 2,000 when the first house gets delivered and 2,000 when the second half gets delivered. For the buyer's safety on their end, that way they're not putting up a whole 30,000 up front. So the title company can even do like payment, like, they can do all that stuff. And it's basically remote or virtual.
I love that, Mark. Yeah, use the escrow company. You scared? Let's get it. Let's take it to the attorney. Let's go. They'll figure out everything.
Real estate. Some states call them real estate attorney. Depends on what state you're in.
Yeah, I'm in North Carolina, so it's an attorney. Yeah, instead of the title company. But yeah, thank you. Definitely, we'll use that.
For sure. And I'll go to the nearest DMV closest to that to where the home is at. I'll go ahead and go up there before I do the invite with them. That way, that same person, I'm going to the DMV twice in a day. I'm going early in the morning, then having the meeting with him, and then going back with him. Now, you know, you can that person who you talked about that same home with, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm here with him right now. You know?
That's good stuff, Brad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I done made some good friends at City Hall. I done made some good friends at the DMV. When I come in, she let me skip the line. Yeah, it done got that good. I'm begging to take them out to lunch. Let me, please, let me. I'd be like, please let me take you out to lunch. They'd be like, no, I can't do that, but I really appreciate it. I'd be like, come on. What if I just slip a gift card in here? What if I do that? They'd be like, I can't do that. Like, you gotta be on that type of time. Like, you gotta be likable. People gotta wanna, that's what they do when they see me in there. I wear the same thing, the hat and the shirt. They say, oh, there go Brad. Yeah, come on. What? You selling another one today? Yeah, I'm gonna sell another one. Here they go right here. And they be like, okay, yeah, bring them up. Make sure they got their license with them. Okay, yeah. Hey, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. Yeah, let's take care of it. Man, even the buyer, like, who is this guy? We just skipped the line like we in the club. Everybody looking at us like, why did they get the skip? And then like I said, it's just the vibes, man. The vibes, man. I done got so many places with the vibes, y'all. And it just be like, I never let nobody tell me that I can't do something. You feel me? And longer, you're not persuading nobody. You're not talking nobody into nothing. You just being a good energy to do business with. That's it. Just be a good energy to do business with, man. People wanna take, man. They tell everybody in the family about you at the damn cookout. Hey, boy, this boy took care of me now. Hey, this woman took care of me. So, yeah, man. Look like she felt, yeah, she's still on here. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kim. But yeah, y'all, anybody got any more questions about where their situation is right now before we jump up out of here? And any questions about wholesaling? Rashawn, I see you in this thing, my boy. We ready to hear you talk about one of your deals now.
Yes, sir. You know I got a couple deals in now. Come on now.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, y'all. Let's get away from the machines, though, y'all. Hold on. Give me like 2 seconds.
You good. Jose, you was wrapping us up.
I was just going to say one more thing too, that, and this is really with the bond titles and how we do the whole process. But a lot of times, if you cannot find a VIN number on the outside or inside of the mobile home, keep in mind ibts.org. Write that down. I'll drop it on school later. ibts.org. That is a department where you can actually order a new HUD data sheet or an actual VIN. There you go, or an actual VIN. So if you go to a mobile home and everything checks out with the public records, you got a bill of sale, but you just need something on the home that says that's what it is. Don't go try to spray paint the VIN number on the chassis. I've seen that done. Don't do that. Order it from there, a couple $100. They will send it to you and you can plaque it on, redo that process, and there you go. It verifies.
Oh my God. He said that not the spray paint. Not the spray paint and the chisel, Jose. No. Sean, what you been doing to take down your first deal? What's up? Talk to us.
Man, listen, I got this property in Georgia. I actually was trying to get, it's actually going to be a novation with the seller for, of course, a lower cash offer. How you doing, man?
We speaking about mobile home, right? We speaking about a mobile home, right?
No, sir, not actually. No,
all right, yeah. Let us know about the mobile home deals. This ain't that.
Yeah, I don't have any of those at the moment.
Yeah, go get one of those.
Let's go. You know I will. Y'all doing all right?
You were supposed to be riding around some communities. How did that go?
That went well, actually. I didn't get any good information because neither one of the owners were in at the time. So, and since then, I've just been at work.
Yeah, and then do what I said earlier, bro. Start talking to the other tenants and seeing what they got going on. Like, hey, what's going on? You know, who can I get the lot rent? You know, number from, you know, the park manager number. I'm helping one of my friends pay for lot rent. I need their name and their number. I'm just trying to gift them it. You know, I know they've been going through some hard times, and I'm gonna take care of them or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Get that number, and then first thing you want to ask them is, you know, hey, what properties do you guys got for sale in this community? You know? Yeah, hit it with that, Sean. You a beast on the phone. I ain't even worried about you.
Yes, sir. You know that.
Yeah. You gonna come back with 30 damn deals.
Yes, sir. I know I've been quiet, y'all, but trying to get things in order, and they all coming together. So it's gonna start turning up for us.
Man, you know, I got nothing but love for you, my brother. You about to take off.
You know that.
Matter of time, my guy. Matter of time.
Right?
Well, with that being said, y'all, we look like we stopped at a good time, 7:30. Once again, I appreciate every single one of y'all. I don't ask this a lot, but invite at least 3 people you know to join this community. Okay. For Tuesday, we're gonna be doing the webinar again. We're gonna be doing the free webinar. So if you want to invite them to that, join. Tell them to come join. If they ready to jump in ASAP, just let us know. Send them over the link and say, hey, I'm sending over the mobile homepreneur link. I got so and so jumping in. Let us know. And yeah, man, we want to see this community grow, but we want to see it grow with the right people. And the right people will be the people that's right next to y'all. So let's go. I appreciate every one of y'all, and y'all keep your vibes going, keep the vibes good, keep the energy clean, and ask questions to death. I swear, questions will lead to the right answers. All right, everybody. Y'all know what I say. It's past 7 o'clock. I ain't eating nothing. Y'all take it easy. Try to hit the gym one time, get a sweat in, and I'll see y'all on the next one.
Thank you. Good night.
Good evening. Thank you.
Team leader, stay in. Team leader, stay in. Team leader, stay in. Like, all right, to Miss Tamisha, you take it easy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Go run it down. You got it. What up, Mark?
Yo.
Yeah, just a little quick recap. Yeah, man, I'm thinking 200 for the team leader. I'm gonna tell everybody to my Thank you for sticking around, brother. You dropped some crazy gems today, my guy. You went stupid. I'll go ahead and stop recording this.
I had some good questions in there.
Yeah, they had some good